In pop music, the technique of mixed mode is used a lot. It gives a songwriter extra chords to play with. One thing you need to take into consideration is the amount of toughness you'd like to add to your progression. Being conscious about which ones of the flatted third, flatted sixth, and flatted seventh chords you use is important for the feel of the song. Their proximity to each other also influences their effect, and whether you use the melody notes that are unique to one of these chords. The mixed mode chords all contain one or two chord tones that are not part of the original major key. Using these notes in the melody will stress the mixed mode chords. Avoiding them will make the progression sound more smooth. The edginess is still there, but only in the chords. Listen to the next example called Mixing Modes. We're clearly in D major. The first melody note is an F sharp, which is the major third of the D major chord. The second chord is a B minor chord, which makes for a 1 to 6 minor chord progression. It's very standard. The other chords in the piece are a G and an A, both part of the key of D major. But the C chord and the F chord are from the mixed mode, and the key of D, these are the flatted seventh chord and the flatted third chord, meaning that the root of these chords are an interval of a flatted seventh and a flatted third above the tonic of the scale. The amount of bluesiness of the melody is limited by the type of chords that we're using, meaning triads and not dominant seventh chords. The latter chords will give you a typical blues sound. The bluesiness is limited even more because we only play the mixed mode chords for one bar. After that, we immediately return to the chords from the original key. The ear will hear the mixed mode chord as an exception. If you play two of these chords in a row, you'll attract more attention and give the composition a greater edginess. Listen to this one, for instance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, because the C and F chord are both mixed mode chords and they're played next to each other, the bluesiness of this mode keeps hanging in the air. Even without melody notes that are unique to these two chords, it's not hard to notice its edge. If we limit the use of melody notes from these mixed mode chords that are not in the original scale, we can smoothen the transition out. The only melody note in our composition that addresses the mixed mode chords is the C note, played up here. Now, the original key has a C sharp, which isn't used as a melody note at all. The C note suggests the use of a D mixolydian scale, which is a major scale with a flatted seventh. If you play or sing this C melody note in the vicinity of a C sharp melody note or in the area where a chord is being played that holds that C sharp note in it, for instance an A major chord, the C note will stand out. Listen to this progression, for instance. 1, 2, 3, 4. The C major chord holds a C note, of course, and the C chord is the flatted seventh chord in D. We're using mixed mode. The A major chord, which is part of the original D major key, contains a C sharp. So what you'll get is this, which makes for a very noticeable turn, which is great if you want that. The other chord of the mixed mode used in this piece is an F major chord. But the F melody note, which would be the flatted third in the original key, is avoided in the melody. No big clashes there. Now if you were to play an F melody note, it would create a great contrast with the first melody note of the piece, which, as you can remember, was the F sharp. The third chord that can be used in mixed mode, in this case, is a B flat chord, holding the tonic B flat. Now this chord isn't played in this piece, and the B flat note is not part of the melody. Because the flatted sixth chord contains two notes that are not in the original major key, in this case the B flat and the F, it's hard to avoid the edginess of that chord. It almost always introduces a sharp turn in your composition. The mixed mode chords work well for contrasting one section with another. When you've written some verses with just chords from the major key, one of these mixed mode chords can give your chorus or bridge a lift.